What's going on, everybody? What's going on? I hope you are having a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching TLP Sports Club, being a part of this community, this family. I appreciate you. The show that you are watching is called TLP Live, okay? This is pretty much a network, and there's going to be different shows. This one is just called TLP Live, okay? I'm working on other things where I bring other shows and other content, but this one here, TLP Live, and guess who I am? I'm your host. I go by the name of Harry B, and the B means billion. My man's Tim from Dallas. I always put respect on Dallas's name. He said, hey, man, there's a lot to talk about with CU. I said, okay, no problem. We're going to talk about it. So I said, let's go live and let's talk about it. And then there's a few things we want to talk about when it comes to Shedeur, because everybody else is talking, so why not we? But before I get into the nitty-gritty and the meat of this show, let's drop the intro, okay? Here it is.
BWB, bandwagon bust.
That's right. It's your man's Harry Billion. Please do me a favor and smash that subscribe button. Make sure to give me the thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that bell notification so that you can get the videos as soon as I upload it to YouTube. All right, family, I got to go ahead and get into this video real quick, so that's all the business I got. You know what time it is. Let's work. Let's go ahead and get right to work. Yes, that's me. Your man's is Harry Billion, Harry B, all right? So let's go. There's a new show out there called Speak Easy. They're talking about some things. I said, all right, cool. You're talking, I'm going to talk. I'm going to use their show to preface this. So let's go right to them. We're going to start the show with what they're talking about, and we're going to live react to it. And guys, I just want to let you know this is an interactive show. If you are at work and you can't interact, I get it. You can either interact in the chat or you can interact here on the panel. In order for you to get on the panel, you got to do just one thing. Just email me right there, jointlplive@gmail.com, jointlplive@gmail.com. Many people have been here. If you want to join the panel, guys, that's how you do it. If you are a repeat member or a panel member, you can use that same email. Just email me, be like, yo, shoot me the link, and I'll send it right to you. All right, if you're new, write it down. Maybe next time, maybe this topic is not your topic. It's not your cup of tea. But maybe next time there will be a topic that you will want to join a discussion on. So write down that email, jointlplive@gmail.com. You feel me? And right below that, you will see on your screen, if you are watching. If you're not watching, I'll say it so you can hear it. But it is my Cash App, okay, guys, to keep this show free. Guys, my Cash App works just fine to keep this show free. You can also do another thing, which is press the like button. You can comment or you can subscribe. Those things, I think those are 4 things will keep this show free. You feel me? But if you are generous enough to spend some of your hard-earned money and bless me, man, I will pretty much appreciate it. I would so appreciate it. That is $, you know, that little S with the line through it, $ TLP Sports Club. All right, $ TLP Sports Club. So when you go to your Cash App, just type in $ TLP Sports Club, and you can bless your bro over there. Okay, you feel me? Let's go ahead and get to the show today. The guys at Speak Easy, they've been in a couple of shows. They're kind of popping up everywhere now on my timeline. They're like, oh, you like sports? We'll give you all the sports you can take, okay? I'm like, okay, whatever. Give me all the shows I can take. Let's share screen. Hopefully YouTube will allow me to do this. This is a reaction. Hopefully they will let me react to this. You feel me? Because some shows, some people are going to, like, you know, they are going to copyright their material. So I get it. So doing reactions are not necessarily as easy as they used to be for, small YouTubers like us who don't have the money to license some of these shows. But hey, man, let's go. You said, all right, you said, remember what I said about Houston. So if they keep winning, then you'll be right. I know. If they keep winning, then yeah. Now how you accusing people already, bruh? Remember what I said about BYU? Come on, bro. How you accuse? Y'all like to forget. What do you mean, forget? Forget what? Ain't nothing to forget. If you want to bring up, hey, man, pull up on me. Stop playing with me in the chat. Timothy, you know how to get on the show. Stop playing with me in the chat. Don't play with me. Let's go, guys. Let's go.
The dilemma with Colin Kaepernick was not that he was not talented. I believe it absolutely is a Colin Kaepernick Shedeur situation. I believe it absolutely is.
How do you believe that it's not? That what?
Because it is. The dilemma with Colin Kaepernick was not that he was not talented enough to be in the NFL. The dilemma with Colin Kaepernick is that he wasn't talented enough to be worth upsetting the decision makers of the NFL.
Right.
I'm not a decision maker. Shady not a decision maker. Furthermore, I'm black. So if I'm making a decision, it's probably going to air pro Shedeur, especially if you're talented, with all due respect. And pro Kaepernick, because I had no issue with what Colin Kaepernick was doing. But if your talent does not match your distraction, then they will not make room for you. If your distraction is greater than or equal to your talent, they will not make room for you. If Shedeur Sanders had Cam Newton talent, he would have been drafted number 1. So that's the only rub here. The only rub is if your talent don't match it.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute, man. So, are we saying Shedeur didn't get drafted in the first round because he didn't have talent? Is that what we're talking about here? Hey, man, I don't have a lot of time today. Yeah, we're going to try to end the show by 12 o'clock. But are we back on this? So Rex Ryan says, people are still talking about the fact that Shedeur said, look around the NFL. You see the talent around the NFL? Bruh, I can't do any worse than that. I can do better than that. All right? Should he have said that? I mean, the jury is still out on it. Everybody's still talking about it. Obviously, we all miss Shedeur. Okay? I keep telling y'all, without Shedeur, the Deion Sanders gift, right? His offspring, his son, it's the gift that keeps on giving. Without Shedeur out there, it's hard for us to have conversations, okay? Because ain't nothing much else happening in sports that is worth talking about, that people really want to talk about, that draws a lot of attention. So a lot of the attention that you're seeing around Shedeur, whenever he says something, does something, you know what I'm saying, that is off kilter or whatever, we're all going to be talking about it. It's going to dominate the headline. That's just how it is. So Rex Ryan says that this kid talks and he runs his mouth. He should be embarrassed that he's not the QB now. Rexy, come to the front of the congregation. When you say he should be embarrassed because he's not the QB now, what do you mean? Like he was given an opportunity and he was just terrible, and they said, "Oh nah." The bro had one. Was it even a whole quarter? He didn't even have a whole quarter. He had a glimpse of a bad quarter. But we forget the first game that he played and lit it up. It's like, yo, Dylan Gabriel had the same thing. He played terribly in his first game. Shedeur played well in his first game, and everybody was crowning him. Then Shedeur's second bad game, did not get the same attention that the Dylan Gabriel his bad game got. Like, frankly speaking, I'm really tired of talking about this. I want to move on. Like, I really, really want to move on because, come on, man. Like, we just, the thing is dead on the ground and we just, just keep hitting it like we're going to come on, man. I'm tired of talking about this. Every time Shedeur does something, we're going to go right back into this conversation. So here we are again. Okay. We're talking about Shedeur not having the talent to be drafted. Okay. Let me run this back for those of y'all who missed it.
I believe it absolutely is a Colin Kaepernick Shedeur situation.
What up,
I believe
Peter?
it absolutely
Then how
is.
do you believe that it's not that? What?
Because it is. The dilemma with Colin Kaepernick was not that he was not talented enough to be in the NFL. The dilemma with Colin Kaepernick is that he wasn't talented enough to be worth upsetting the decision makers of the NFL.
Yes, he was. Colin Kaepernick did have the talent to do what he did. He did. So I don't know what he's talking about. You're crazy, bruh. Like, bruh, you a former player. Now you are a talking head for the NFL, and you just said that out your mouth. Yo, I bet you won't even say that in front of Cap. He didn't have the talent to upset the decision makers. The NFL is a juggernaut of an organization. I don't care how much talent you have. You can have anybody's talent, and they will still throw you under the rug. They will still bury you. Colin Kaepernick did have the talent that you're talking about. So what do you mean? Even if he had the talent that you're talking about, which he did, they will still treat him the way that they treated him. Did you forget the dude was this close to winning a Super Bowl? Like, what are we talking about? What talent are you talking about? Nobody has enough talent to try to go against the juggernaut of the NFL. Stop playing, bruh. And you're black too, man. Stop with the stupidity, man. He's not right, him. He's not right. He's wrong because nobody has the talent to go against the NFL. Nobody. Nobody. Cam Newton right now doesn't have the talent to get himself an interview. Come on, man. No matter what you do, you will never measure up, okay? Colin Kaepernick had the talent. He did something in his community. I'm going to tell you how it all went down because I was smack in the middle of it. All right? Supporting it. I'm going to tell you how it all went down because what you're not going to do is start to create a whole different stupid narrative to now try to reinvent the whatever went down. No. The reason why Colin Kaepernick did not come up, I guess he did win the situation, but the reason why his career ended is because he did not have the backing of his community in the NFL, right? Because the community on outside of the NFL backed him up. But he did not have the backing of the community in the NFL. He had a bunch of Stephen S. Smiths. Yes, masters. I ain't touching that because they already made that decision. We ain't all got to go down. Sambos. A bunch of Negroes who don't want to lose anything for the fight. A bunch of Negroes who are afraid to put stuff on the line. That's why Colin Kaepernick lost his career. But if Colin Kaepernick had the backing of his NFL community, let's just say the black NFL community, he would have still been playing football. And yes, he was that nice. Because if he won that Super Bowl, then you would say, oh yeah, he was nice. He was that nice. You're trying to diminish somebody when they don't have the type of accolades that you talk about. But Colin Kaepernick was that nice. So shut up. Go away with that nonsense, black man. Pissed me off this morning. Colin Kaepernick was one of the nicest quarterbacks in the NFL. The heck are you talking about? Ocho or Archo? Stop with the stupidity. And even if he was the nicest quarterback in the daggone NFL, there's no way that he was going to take down the NFL like that. It was not going to happen. So stop with the stupid narrative. Yeah, I said it, Negro. Stupid narrative. Pissed me off. Because y'all soft and y'all a bunch of Stephen S. Smiths, capitulators, laid out for masters, don't want to put nothing on the line. Y'all wait until things get comfortable before y'all start doing stuff. I was one of them dudes out there playing Afrobeat music in Brooklyn, New York, while a bunch of y'all was too shy, looking away. Couldn't even call your freaking selves African. Y'all was all Jamaicans and from the islands. Some people know how to fight and others lay down. Get out the way. Move. And then when the fight gets easier, and then when it's comfortable, then y'all want to play Afrobeat. Then y'all want to stand up and lock arms and stand with Kaepernick. Then y'all want to take a knee when it's easy. Y'all a bunch of Sambos. But life ain't always going to present you comfortable situations for you to fight. So put some respect on Colin Kaepernick's name, black man. He's one of the reasons why you can sit right there and talk what you're talking. Some people are going to lose some things and they don't mind putting it on the line. They don't do things when it's only comfortable. Yes, this was not part of the show, but still, you just pissed me off with that. Colin Kaepernick was one of the nicest quarterbacks in the NFL at the time. What you talking about? Watch your mouth, son. Watch your mouth. His situation was not about talent. It was about his color and the fact that we were not going to take over the NFL. You don't get to do this, black man. It had nothing to do with how talented he was and if his talent was going to be enough for the owners to be like, you know what? You're talented enough. Let me go ahead and let you do this to us. Not happening. Shut up. Get me started. Anyway.
Right.
I'm not a decision maker. Shady not a decision maker. Furthermore, I'm black. So if I'm making a decision, it's probably going to air pro Shedeur, especially if you're talented.
You said, oh my God, this is nothing but a word. There were Africans that were calling themselves Jamaicans when I was in high school and then beginning of college. Like, why? Yeah. Punks, cowards everywhere. Just like a bunch of Stephen A. Smiths. Cowards. They don't want to lose nothing. They don't want to put nothing on the line. It's going to cost you something. You can't be a bunch of Stephen A. Smiths out there. Oh, you know, he's so strong for us. Please just capitulate. Don't lose nothing. If our forefathers and mothers were worried about losing their position and their money, will we be where we're at today? Y'all a bunch of cowards out there. A bunch of cowardly Stephen A. Smiths. Y'all built these, y'all get to the point where y'all go to school, you get to these big platforms, and then God can't tell y'all, hey, I want it. God can't tell you, hey man, I need that. And then now all of a sudden you're back up. Bunch of freaking cowards. Stephen A. Smiths. Cowards. You don't want to lose nothing. You capitulate. You bend backwards and forward for massa. I wish you would. I'm willing to lose everything for my people. Everything. Put it all on the line. Like, let's go. It ain't for me anyways. You know what I'm saying? It ain't for me. It's God's. If he wants it, if he's like, hey, man, I need you to give me that so I can use it because people been praying and I need that. We're like, all right, take it. I mean, you gave it to me. But a bunch of y'all cowards are out there. Y'all not willing to put nothing on the line, always willing to bend down for massa. And then y'all got the loudest voices. Yo, stop playing with me, son.
All due respect. And pro Kaepernick, because I had no issue with what Colin Kaepernick was doing. But if your talent does not match your distraction, then they will not make room for you.
Bro, that's a dumb. I don't want to cuss today. That's a dumb statement. Oh, that's a dumb statement, bro. There's so many people who are talented and they've tried to say things and they got buried. So here you are trying to say like, oh, hey, yo, you can't be yourself because you need a certain talent level in order for them to allow you to be yourself. There are so many players that have tried being themselves and they got buried. I'm not saying Odell Beckham is some kind of, revolutionary, but the Giants got rid of him. One of the best wide receivers, fastest wide receivers in the business. Giants got rid of him because they got tired of his mouth or of his antics. It don't matter how talented you are. If you have some type of distraction, and they deem it's a distraction, they wouldn't care. They don't care how talented you are. They'll get rid of you. Because they are like the New York Yankees. They have a certain profile they want to keep, and they're going to get rid of anybody and everybody that does not adhere to that profile. It doesn't matter. Your talent does not give you the right to destroy their profile. They will not allow you to do it. I'm trying to tell you, the NFL is too big to fail. So, and they know that they only have 32 teams. They have a monopoly on this thing here. There's only 32 teams. So they know at the end of the day, their product would not be affected because we men, American men and others, we will support this thing even if you spit on our women. You can spit on our mothers and we will support this thing. We are the ones that said we dictate this whole thing. We men, we do. We American men, this is our religion. And we will support this thing to the death. Kick our mothers, spit on our dogs and our wives. You can smack our children, and we will still support the NFL. We don't care. Don't mess with our religion. That's how this thing runs. It's not them, it's us who support it, because there was a time when the support wanes, they listen. When there is enough support, if you remember the Colin Kaepernick situation, once it became comfortable and the voices that had the platforms started to support it, you saw how even Jerry Jones went and locked arms with his players. As greasy as you know he is. Y'all not ready for real conversations, bro. You got these type of dudes out here capitulating like the Stephen A. Smiths who would say and do anything to keep their jobs and their platforms. Thank God he's on a new podcast. Maybe now he can speak the real truth. But here he goes. Oh, Colin Kaepernick was not talented enough, and that's why they didn't give him no room. No, it was not about his talent. It was about the fact that he was doing something that did not adhere to the second half of men, American men who are white. They didn't like that. It's a man's sport, right? But the majority men are white who support this sport. The majority of men are black who play this sport. The majority of men who are black who play this sport, their voices are not as strong as the majority white men that support the sport, go to construction jobs, go to jobs, blue-collar jobs, go to Wall Street jobs, and they pay for the sport. Their voices are stronger than the men who play the sport. But however, there is a little bit of a caveat or a nuance that if the men who play the sport were to stand together and say, oh, hell no, we not doing that, the men who pay for the sport will listen. But when you have like your Shaquille O'Neals, your capitulators, your Stephen A. Smiths, your cowards, when you have your cowards in the way, it's hard for us to have change. Very hard.
If your distraction is greater than or equal to your talent, they will not make room for you. If Shedeur Sanders had Cam Newton talent, he would have been drafted number 1.
What's he talking about? What is Archo talking about? Let's say he didn't have Cam Newton talent, but he was one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the college ranks coming out of his draft class. Right? Let's say he didn't have Cam Newton talent, but at least he was talented. Why did he not go first round then? Or second round? I'll give you third round. All right, you know what? Let's go all the way to the fourth round. I'll give you fourth round. Because you're not telling me, convincing me that, oh, his talent was just the distraction was worth the fifth round. Come on, bro. Peter, what's up, man? Thank you for being here because I can take a breath now. Now that you're here, Peter Investor M. Your overall first rounder, Cam Ward, is not like lighting it up like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I understand he ain't got the best O-line or defense or whatever. He went to the worst team because that's just how the NFL draft works. I get that. But was he that nice? Cam Ward is nice, but was he that much better than Shedeur Sanders? It's like this conversation is so nuanced, but everybody wants to take the draft results and litigate what happened. Because now if he had Cam Newton talent, then he will actually be drafted number 1. That's such BS, bro. That is such BS. So, Kawale, what up with you? So
that's the only rub here. The only rub is if your talent don't match it, then they don't make room for you. What Shady say about Tyreek Hill? Tyreek Hill's so talented, I don't care.
So where is Cam Newton now? How old is Cam Newton? Cam Newton, right? His antics, whatever happened with him, where is Cam Newton? He still has NFL age. Cam Newton is not 40 years old. Joe Flacco, the white man, is playing ahead of Shedeur. Bro, what are we talking about? So then why is Cam Newton not in the NFL anymore? If he was so much talented, if he had that much talent, based on his argument, right? If Cam Newton was that talented and they were willing to give his antics or his distractions room, where is he now? So prime Cam Newton? Is that what prime? Let me handle some business. Peter Investor, man, I appreciate the super chat, man. Thank you so much. I'm trying not to lose my head over here. You feel me? But some of these sports conversations, they're nuanced conversations. And yes, you have the right to, interject how you feel or your train of thoughts. But something just ain't sitting right with me when it comes to the discussion he's having, because I think Cam Newton still has talent, and the stuff that you're seeing around the NFL, just like Shedeur said, I'm sure he's still better than a lot of those dudes that's in the NFL right now. But it's a lot of bureaucratic stuff going on, politics and everything that's going on. Come on, my guy. And these dudes know this, but it's like, okay, who are you talking to? Who are you speaking for? The front office? Who are you talking for? You ain't talking for the people, because the people ain't listening to this garbage you're spewing right now. This is not where it's at. Because what are you talking about? You know that if you're black, no matter how talented you are, they will stomp on you. So stop this nonsense about if you have talent, then your talent is going to give your distractions more room and they will let you be a distraction. No, they won't. No, they won't. Shedeur Sanders is a good young man. He has talent. Now, maybe he's saying some things a little bit arrogant, but I don't know how much of a distraction you want to call that. I'm better than a lot of these quarterbacks. Why am I not playing? That's a distraction? I mean, what are we talking about? Is this a man's sport or a woman's sport? Are we wearing bikinis? Does anybody feel like they're a man around here that can take some man's talk? Or are we just going to keep talking about, oh my gosh, I can't believe he said that, alpha males got confident they should be able to talk. It's a man's sport. It's a gladiator sport. I get it. I understand it. Hey, we don't like this, Shedeur. Don't talk this. Okay, get rid of it. Boom. Don't talk that. But the way that we're dealing with it is like we're talking about some women. And I'm sorry, women, that I got to come for you today. It ain't got nothing to do with you. But you know how you guys are versus these testosterone, egotistical, failed men that are supposed to be these macho men and playing a gladiator sport that is supposed to be this macho gladiator sport. So if I tell another Negro that I'm better than him, then he should be able to be like, all right, if you better, then show me. I'm like, all right, then give me the opportunity. And ain't supposed to be no, oh my gosh, did he just say that? He said he was better than people. Oh, no. I'm sorry, women, but that's some women stuff, man. Thank you, Peter. I just want to give you, the energy that you just blessed me for. Cam was in the league for 11 years. He did his time, but he still got talent. Joe Flacco is 40 years old and still playing. Aaron Rodgers is like 89 years old. He's still playing. So they want a bunch of dudes that can just be quiet, shut up, and throw. I mean, if Aaron Rodgers can still be playing, you think Cam Newton can play better than Aaron Rodgers right now, or what's her name, Joe Flacco? If Cam Newton was to practice right now, you telling me that he can't be better than Joe Flacco? I like this right here. The NFL is part of the entertainment industry, has little to do with certain talents. That is absolutely on point. If I had a bell, which I should start getting some sound effects, that's a ting, 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 ting. Yes, I really love that quote right there. It's part of entertainment, and entertainment comes with gatekeepers, and gatekeepers have agents, and the agents have certain people that they want to feed, and it's a cycle of You rub my back, I rub your back, and if I put you in, I need you to do certain things for me. And if you're not cooperative, then I want to get rid of you because I need somebody else that can be cooperative to really earn this money, because there's a lot of money going around. There's advertisement dollars, and the people that are connected to the advertisement dollars are all in cahoots. We're all connected, so we got to make sure that we are all protecting the pot. Should I repeat that for some in the back room? I can't. It was a lot. So, sorry. But that's how it works. It's bureaucratic. It's political. If you think this thing is just about talent, it is not, Archo. It's not about talent. It is not, man. It's the industry. Shedeur has the talent. Trust me. All right? But he just has too much confidence, which is, eerie into that. It is creeping into arrogance. And they don't want that. They want to control the narrative. They want to control their organizations. So that's what's happening, Archo. It has nothing to do with talent. Cut it out, Archo. Man, I hope you watch my channel. Bruh, bring me on, let's talk. Because we're both men. And I'm sure we're probably right around the same age group. Y'all gotta stop this capitulation thing that you're doing. Y'all got these platforms. I don't know who's slipping y'all a little bit of change. Maybe the sponsors, or maybe like behind the scene, they're giving y'all a little bit of extra to say certain things. And I know how the game works. It could be not true too, but I'm just saying, like, y'all get on these platforms and y'all do the master's work. Stop doing the master's work, because that's exactly what they want you to say. They want you to say that he's not talented enough to garner this type of talk. But if he's not talented enough, then put the piqué on the fee, my man. Put the piqué on the fee. That's all we asking. We ain't asking much more than that. Put the piqué on the fee. The only way you can tell if somebody's talented is to let them play. That's it. But you know, and I know, that is not about talent. It's about the bureaucratic process, the political aspect of it. This person does this thing and then that thing because my player, he got first round, so or third round he has to play. I'm not spending this amount of money to have the second round come and beat my guy out. It's not about talent, man. Stop playing these games. What was talking about? Peter, even with the local sponsors, man, even with the local sponsors, it's still money is money. Yes, Oz, I'm Liberian. I'm beginning. TLP means the Liberian perspective. That's what TLP stands for. You know what I'm saying? Don't put a picky on the feet, my man. If you want to play, you want to play. If you can play, you can play. Give me boost and let's play ball. Stop playing with me, man. Nonsense. Yeah, Peter, but yeah, look, local sponsors are also in cahoots with the bigger guys. You see what I'm saying? I don't know that you can ever take the local from the bigger picture. You see what I'm saying? Like it's a big situation, because the locals are just an extension of the bigger picture. Like, even if you have, like, let's say, let me give you this example, like McDonald's franchises. You feel me? Like, if you have a black owner who owns a McDonald's franchise and he wanted to support Colin Kaepernick when the entire thing was blowing up, then that will actually make it seem like McDonald's as a corporation was supporting Colin Kaepernick. And when you are on a platform, your platform, depending on how big it is, the message you send can actually take that message and validate that message. That's why you got to be very careful. That's why certain platforms and certain organizations do not support certain things. The Gaza Palestinians and Israel, and you will not see certain people spending money because of who they're in bed with. And you never know who the local people are in bed with, because the local people also have local politicians that they have to adhere to. And those politicians, if they're in bed, it's like hip hop, right? If those local politicians are in bed with somebody who has a religious agenda, then you're in bed with everybody. So it's like this in hip hop, right? if Drake is beefing with Kendrick, certain people cannot touch that because Kendrick is associated with certain people that maybe you are associated with or that you know, right? So if you start supporting Drake or you step in the battle and say something, you might upset somebody. So it's never that simple. There's always a link. So that's why it's very tough. Even if you have local sponsorships, there will literally have to be entrepreneurs who do not care or are not connected. You know, you said I need to create my own crypto coin. Yo, so yeah, man, it has to be entrepreneurs who are not connected to or affiliated with any type of anything. Like they're getting their money by like cutting nails, and they're not even using nail clippers that is being sold by a company that is from Israel that can mess around. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so deep, it goes so deep that it's so scary, man. Let's keep playing some more of this stuff. We're reacting live. Who's in? Peter's here. Peter Gurgis is here. Peter Investor's here. Beast Reincarnated is here. Beast Reincarnated. Why do you choose a name like that? What? Okay. Oh man. Did I see Love and Liberty? Oh, okay, that's what it is. I was like, did I just see Love and Liberty? NFL is more like WWE. Now then pure sport. Oh, it's not. It's now okay. Yeah, man. I mean, it's basically what he's saying there is a lot of things are scripted. You know what I'm saying? Like it's scripted. The outcomes, you know, things are scripted, and you got to stay on script. If you don't stay on script, then you know what I'm saying. Then they can get rid of you, and the players come and go. There's going to be another draft. There's only 32 teams. You feel me? And there's so many players in college, and they're good. There are players that get left on those boards that are really good. But you do these interviews and you bring these people in and you try to figure out who they're connected to and who they are and how they talk, how they handle certain things. And you like, I can bring this guy in, but I feel like he might be that guy that might, you know, cause me trouble. So no matter how talented he is, you go with the lesser talent, or you will go with another talent that just is equal as he is, and you know you can control him. You're not going to bring a Harry B in, no matter how talented I am, because I'll bring down the whole thing, because I'm a rebel. So if I go to Liberia, I'll give you a scenario. If I go to Liberia, I take, let's say, $300 million, and I built a camp, and I start training people. I start bringing these young Africans, these young Liberians, Ghanaians, people from Guinea, people from Ghana, and because they're right on the coast, they're right there on the West Coast, right? That little Gulf, we're all right there. If I bring a bunch of those people in and I train them for the NFL, learn how to kick, learn how to become running backs, learn how to catch the ball, run. If I start doing that, they're going to be linked to me. If I put you in, you got to do my bidding. Let's go to war. Let's bring down this whole ship. We're talented. Can't nobody touch us. All I do is breed NFL players. Hungry hyenas that will kill any football player you put in front of them. If I do that for like the next 10 years and now all of a sudden I start putting people through the NFL, and I say, okay, anytime the society or anytime the community has an issue, I want you to say something. You think they would ever take anybody from the Harry B community, from the Harry B camp? They'll be like, I don't know about that. Nah, because these are warriors. These dudes are fighters. They're not going to stand down. We're going to be the best players, and we're going to be the most outspoken. Because I'm putting up the money, and I want some warriors. I want not some cowards, not some Stephen A. Smiths. Stephen A. Smiths. Some capitulators. Some massas. Yes, massa. Don't mess with my money. I've never seen a bunch of cowardly men that call themselves alpha males. Negro, who told you that's what an alpha male is? An alpha male is the one that's willing to lose something for his family. That's an alpha. Not a bunch of cowardly men willing to capitulate to anything and anybody for money. My Negro, I can live on a carton box and I can have a piece of a cracker to eat, and I'm good. And then I will get up because I need enough and just a piece of chicken or meat. And then I want to be able to have enough strength to get up and fight again. You think I'm worried about driving Bentleys? You think I'm worried about driving all the best cars, living in houses that has too many rooms for me? No, that's not why I'm sitting here. I will lose everything for my community. A bunch of cowards out here. We're the Martin Luther Kings. Oh, a bunch of cowards who, oh, we good now. We here now. Y'all not willing to lay nothing down. You're cowardly cowards. Calling yourselves alpha. Y'all don't even know the daggone definition of an alpha. I'm an alpha. I'm a servant. An alpha is a servant. Sick and tired of cowardly fools on platforms with the loudest voices and the most money. Nobody cares what you know until people know that you care. And if the only thing you care about is stacking your dough, get up out of the way. And let some real alphas step in the way. Some dudes who have built the biggest platforms, billion-dollar platforms, and be willing to lose it in 1 second. Like, God, take it, it's yours. You built it because I know you needed it. You didn't build it because you wanted me to be all out here talking about I'm the man. If I built a billion-dollar platform and God says, Harry, I need it because I need to rescue my people. I need Egypt to let my people go, so I need that platform. I say, go, God, it's yours. Bunch of cowards. Stephen A. Smiths.
About that off the field.
But can we stick to college though? Because with Kaepernick, we found out that he was good, but he wasn't good enough for all the distractions, right? If Tom Brady was taking these, everybody's like, okay, we still gonna use him.
Correct.
So let's get away from the NFL part. Let's go back to college though. You keep talking about Shedeur and Cam. They're not in the same class. Cam was the #1 pick overall for a reason. So let's go straight to.
Let me pull up what Peter just said. In the wolf pack, alpha stays in the back to protect the entire pack. Highlight that, Peter. Should I put a star on this thing? Put a star on this. Like, people don't understand what alpha is all about. In today's internet world, people think alphas are a bunch of fools who know a lot of things, who know a lot of book, and they can repeat things and they can say things and they go work out. They don't have no fat on them, and they look like they shave their heads, or they're looking like muscular, and that's an alpha. Y'all are being led astray. Those are not alphas. Those are fools, scared cowards who will fold, and they ain't protecting nothing but their pockets. Those are not alphas. Stephen A. Smith is no alpha. He is not an alpha. He is a fool, and he's a coward. And because people get sued nowadays, allegedly. You know what I'm saying? But he's a fool and he's a coward. All right? He's a coward. And I don't care how long he took to build his platform. He's a coward. Allegedly, he's a coward. There's too many cowards out here, and I'm tired of y'all following them. Peter, what you say, Peter Gurgis? Every time I see your name, your last name, Peter, I think of Guinness, because I'm from Liberia, so my dad always drink Guinness. And I see Peter, I see GU, I just see Guinness all of a sudden. Peter, I'm going to start calling you Peter Guinness. He said, tons of players put up great numbers. Bailey Zapp, who is another Cleveland QB, put up better numbers. Our country is being led by the biggest coward living. Hey, and the person saying is a white man. Hey, yo, love and liberty, man. Look. Kawali said Guinness is the African Malta. That is a fact. Them daggone African old men, they be drinking Guinness like it's just nothing. They throw it back. I'm like, I think I tasted it one time. That's the most bitterest thing ever. I'm like, what the heck you're liking this thing? Matt Godey, you in the chat. What up with you? I told you last week Colorado not winning another game this season. You told me that, Mac? Oh, you told us that? Because I don't remember you telling me that. I think Colorado will win another game because I don't think any of us expected them to play as well as they did. So I think they will. I think they just got to adjust the coaching. They got the players. You can tell when the way that they played. BYU smoked them last year when they had all the best players. And then for BYU to actually, for them to go into BYU and do what they did, and they had a chance to win if Coach Prime did not want to take all his timeouts home again to cuddle with them, yeah, then, we would have been, Colorado could have won. But love and liberty, man, look, we got a lot of cowards. Peter Gurgis, I'm sure you know about Guinness because you're South African, so I'm sure you know about Guinness too. Yeah, man, but I'm so sick and tired of internet gangsters and internet fools who would not do anything in their communities, pouting their chest as alphas. People who don't know the first thing about what an alpha is supposed to be. Jesus Christ was an alpha. He didn't come in no Rolls Royce, even though he could snap his finger. He came as a servant. He came as a servant. You want to be an alpha, you got to serve. You are the biggest servant if you're an alpha. I'm an alpha. I don't pout my chest. I'm a quiet leader, but I am the quintessential definition of an alpha. You will never catch me pouting my chest telling you, oh my gosh, I don't know a bunch of book and I can't be quoting you this and quoting you that and going to debates and win him and all that. I got all the money in the world. No, that's not what the freaking alpha is. Daggone fools out here, a bunch of money-having alphas. Can't serve nobody but yourself. Nonsense. Y'all move from that, man. Make me speak Liberian out here. Move from that. Bunch of cowardly alphas. Never seen a cowardly alpha.
College. In college,
all right, let's go back to
Cam
sports.
Ward, Shedeur Sanders was the most talked about too, right?
Yeah.
Say that again. I'm tired of saying it, and I don't even have much time left on this live.
Yeah.
So he was supposed to go first round at the worst.
Yeah.
Okay, you see this setup, right? This is what you call the Trump card. And I'm sorry, but that's the only thing I got. That's what you call a setup to say, remember what you just said previous to my statement. And you just said yeah to what I just set you up for. All right? That is, in chess, they call it check. And here comes the checkmate. All right? That means when I say check, that means your king is in trouble. He just set him up. Watch game.
That's my point. I don't care about how talented you are. You were good enough that we all thought you was going first round, number 1 or number 2 quarterback. Mm-hmm. And then out of nowhere, you go to the 5th round and you tell me you don't think the NFL had nothing to do with that?
Checkmate. That's what I've been trying to tell you. Now, what is this Sambo about to say? What is this Stephen S. Smith about to say? He just checkmated you. You set up the entire thing based on talent and distraction. If you got talent, then your distraction is allowed, right? So first round talent versus Ayo, I think I'm one of the best quarterbacks. I think first round, you can say, yo, I think I'm one of the best quarterbacks. That is a little bit of distraction. He ain't saying nothing out of pocket. He ain't trying to tell nobody to kneel. All he said was, yo, bro, look around the NFL. Look around the NFL, bro. what you see, I can do better than that. That's a little bit of a, you know what I'm saying, pout in my chest. I'm like that. You're saying the first round that you just agreed to is not worth the distraction of just saying I'm better than that? What are you going to say, Sambo?
They obviously have something to do with it.
Oh, they obviously have something to do. Oh, they obviously have something to do with it. They obviously have something to do with it. Come on, man. It's like sometimes people capitulate so much, like, you know what I'm saying? You be up in there so much, you can't even see. It's too dark up in there. I hope you know what I'm talking about. You got your head up in there so much that sometimes it's way too dark for you to even smell the stuff you're saying.
Grafted. But here's what
that is crazy.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I'm with you, son. I feel you. Nothing makes sense anymore. I don't know. I'm so simple. Yeah, y'all gonna call me simple. Yeah, Harry, you are simple. Yeah, okay. I keep things so simple because I don't know that much book and stuff. I'm just like, hey, look, the only thing I got is wisdom. And God gave that to me. I pray for wisdom every day. And I said, God, please give me more wisdom so that I can understand the complex things, so that I can understand Sambos. So when Stephen A. Smith is talk, I know how to understand them. When they try to use big capitulation words, I can understand it. God, I know I don't know a lot of book, and I went to a simple school, but God, just give me wisdom. Wisdom is better than education. I can use wisdom while you're out there trying to lead a bunch of people astray. I want to know how to serve my people, so I can understand people like this. So it's simple. He just told you. He just checkmated you. But now you're going to have to now do this thing where educational people say you backtracking. Let them backtrack. Go ahead, backtrack.
Here's what you're telling. Hold on. Because let me woosah quickly.
Yeah. They need the woosah, right? Woosah. Let's take a breath and let me try to see how I can spin this so that I can backtrack in a way that'll make sense because I'm a Sambo.
Are you telling me Shedeur had nothing to do with that? Because I'll concede.
Yeah,
I will concede.
You will concede? You will concede that it's not about talent, that is actually about the NFL, and Shedeur has something to do with it? No, it's about the emasculation of the milk. Is that how you call it? Emasculation, when they try to when they try to take everything. Is that emasculation? Somebody help me out. Y'all educated folks out there. Y'all help me out. No, it's about trying to let us know that we ain't ish. And it doesn't matter if we're 69 to 70% of the daggone athletes that play your sport. It don't matter. We're going to bring you down to your common denominator, and we're going to keep you right here because us 32 men, let me just say 31 and a half, us 31 and a half white men, is it 31 and a half? Should I give them 30? Us 30 white men, right, with the other color folks that maybe 1.5 colorful that we got, we run this here, and we're going to tell you what you could do, okay? Shut up and run, dribble, pass. They don't dribble in football, but you get the point.
I would probably say that one thing he probably could have did better at, and then it's hard to even say he could have did better because when you think you're going so
emasculation. Thank you, love and liberty. Emasculation, yes.
High, you got juice, you got power. You start saying, I don't want to do that at the combine. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do it. Everybody's doing it over the years. Has been doing.
Yeah,
it's not like something just happened. So I don't mind that part. Only thing is,
but okay, people do that though. Just so you understand, people do that. All right. I know that Caleb Williams is a little bit better, in a sense where they were talking about him as a high overall first round talent. So yes, I can't even say his talent is that much better than Shedeur's, but yes, he's a little bit better. I'll give him that. But he did the same thing. Eli Manning and his family was like, no, we're not going over here. We're going over here. We tell you what to do. So no, people do it. So it's not like it's see the thing that we're struggling with is the fact that we're talking about Deion Sanders' linkage, right? And Shedeur's talent, because Shedeur is not a mobile quarterback. A mobile quarterback is where the NFL is going today. If they want mobile quarterbacks, right? So because Shedeur does not possess the mobility, right? He has everything else, but not the mobility. Now we're trying to make excuses about what NFL players have done all the time. His accuracy and his arm and his decision making is there, but if he could just move a little bit more, boom. Then now we can say, okay, he got that Cam Newton talent. But until then, we still got to put him in pocket. But I'm sure if he's a first-round talent, just like Caleb Williams was, he wasn't number one overall yet. He wasn't chosen number one overall yet. He was talked about as being number one overall. But he said, no, I'm not doing X, Y, and Z. It ain't outlandish. It's not. Peter Investor says, if the NFL, hold on, let me see. If the NFL is a corporation, this means there are employees, products, and customers. Players equals products. I got to think about that one, Peter. Are the players the product? I feel like I'm not ready to concede to the players being the product yet, because I feel like there's something very strategic and what's the name about. I don't know that the players are the product. And let me give you a little bit of a thing. When somebody asks you with McDonald's, what is their product? What would y'all say? Let's play a little game real quick. What would y'all say? What is McDonald's product? Let me y'all interact with me. What would y'all say McDonald's product is? And this is me. This is just trying to play with what Peter says. Peter, you're cheating. Come on, Peter, erase that. You're cheating. You knew the answer. You read the book. You cheated. Real estate. Real estate is McDonald's product. So most people would think it's the burger, right? Right? It's the Big Mac, right? Most people would think it's like the shakes or their fries. That's not their product. Real estate is McDonald's product. Okay? All right, Peter, you got the answer. You got a ding, ding, ding. But you cheated. You know too much. All right. So the NFL, I don't know that the product for the NFL is the players. That's what I wanted to get to. I don't know that the players equals the product. I feel like it's something different. But that's why I say I gotta think about it, because I don't know that the players are the product. If the players were the product, then the way they're moving, they will move differently, because the player cannot be the product. Let me think about it. He said, I'm still learning every day. Yeah, man, we all still learning.
Once he's seen all the reports about how he was acting, he probably should take a step back.
Yeah.
Right? Because now I was going to get drafted. But he's not thinking like it's that big of a deal, because I'm supposed to go top one or top two. So, yes. I ain't going to say yes. I'm not going to, because I'm trying to think of a reason why it could have changed. Then I can't. But why are we changing, though? This is what I like that you do, though. Why do I got to change for anybody? I ain't gonna say who. Why should anybody when my?
It's just wisdom. Players equal assets. Yeah, you're getting there, Peter. You're getting closer and closer. I wasn't ready to accept the players being a product. There's an asset factor to it. So yes, you're getting closer. Keep working it, Peter. While I work the show, you keep working that. What did Love and Liberty say? Maybe it's more like the players are the options make. All right, my computer just went off. Love and Liberty, you onto something, but you kind of like there's a redundancy in there somewhere. Keep working on that. I'm not ready to concede you. It's making sense, but I'm not ready to concede those factors yet. But you are making some great points. It's just I feel like it's a little bit simpler. It's a little bit simpler. It doesn't have to be complex. I think it's simpler. but I don't know that they're the products or that they're making arts or whatever you're saying here. Don't know. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I don't know. I don't know. My brain is like not on that wave, but if me and you was like just kicking it and just trying to think about it, and I had time to think, then I'll probably come to a place where maybe I'll understand more of why you're saying how you're saying it. But yeah, but I mean, if we go back to this whole thing right here, why do we have to? I just use capitulate. Why do you have to change? And I'm 50-50 on this because I do get it. Sometimes you have to choose your battles, and you have to choose your battles wisely, right? This is not giving Stephen A. Smith a pass, right? Because I know sometimes the way he sounds like he's saying, hey, choose your battle. But no, he's a straight up coward. Like Stephen A. Smith, I have never heard Stephen A. Smith at any point say, fight, and it doesn't matter if it's going to cost you something. Stephen A. Smith he's like the house Negro. I guess he's the dark-skinned house Negro who is always saying, is massa coming? Is massa coming? If massa's coming, you know we got to stop and bow down. Like, he's a straight coward. And I would say this in his face and say, look, if you want to talk, that's cool. But if you hate me, I'm glad you do. And I'm going to be over here on this other side because I think you a straight coward. And you got money. Who cares about your money? I don't care about no man's money. You can have more money, but a bunch of y'all got money and y'all a bunch of cowards because you have organizations who are supporting you, right? And they are stomping on your people and you don't care. And that, I would never ride with a Negro like that, ever. I'm riding with anybody that's willing to lose something. You ain't got to lose everything because don't be dumb, right? You ain't got to lose everything, but you got to be willing to lose something. And if they come for all of it, and if you're on the righteous side of something and they come for all of it, God is asking you for it. I'm trying to tell you, I only please God. That's it. I don't care about nothing and nobody. The only person I want to please at the end of the day, when I stand in front of him and I want him to check every fiber of my being, is God. Like, God, check me. Did I miss? Did I make a wrong turn? When I said no to that or when I said yes to that, did that displease you? But if you come for everything, give it. And I don't care if you go broke, go poor. Bruh, how many houses can you live in? How many cars can you drive? Y'all on these big platforms and y'all can't use those platforms to help your community. For what? And then start capitulating to people who are downtrodden, your people. And I ain't talking about just black people. I'm talking about people who matter. Bunch of Stephen A. Smith cowards. I don't know why I'm coming for him today, but there was something that I saw yesterday that just it rubbed me off running. I'm just, I hate cowards. I hate a bunch of cowards. I'm going to put that on Love and Liberty. The difference between men who value integrity. Is that the greater sign or the less than sign? Because I don't know. I can't tell. When it's open to this, right? I think the when the legs are open towards the thing is greater, and when it's backwards, then it's lesser. Don't stop tricking me. I told you I went to public school. Stop playing with me. Oh, people who love integrity more than riches. Okay, thank you. Stop trying to trick me. Oh, Lord. You reported that CP donated millions to Colorado. Are you talking to me or somebody else, Peter? Peter Investor. All right, guys, I got to end soon because my time is up, but let's take a little bit more.
My job is I play football. My swagger, my brand is what it is. Yep. I've never gotten no trouble with the law. I've never got no domestic violence. All I do that the crime you want to commit me for is I got swagger and I'm black and I talk like a certain way.
I'm not.
That's this process. Only crime.
You don't have to change. You don't have to change.
Oh man.
I'm just saying it behooves you to temporarily fake out these people so you can get what you want out of them.
Why I gotta do that?
Because think about it, Shady.
Because he's a Sambo. That's what Sambos do. But I mean, just for the sake of understanding where he's at, all right, I'll meet him halfway. I think what he's trying to say is, hey, I think I've even said it myself, it's in the essence of, hey, children, save yourselves from this generation. You know what I'm saying? Like this perverse generation. So it's in the essence of that, even though that's not what that scripture means, right? I believe it was in Acts, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody check it and let me know. But yeah, I think I right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you know what's crazy? It's so crazy. Yes, Acts 2:36. Peter just told the people that Jesus whom many have rejected, crucified is the Messiah. Acts 2:36. It's so crazy that I had this up. The crowd is cut to the heart and asks, brothers, what shall we do? Acts 2:37. Peter answers, repent and be baptized, every one of you, in the name of Jesus Christ for the forgiveness of your sins, and you will receive the gift of the Holy Spirit. With many words, he warned them and he pleaded with them, save yourselves from this corrupt or perverse generation. You feel me? Because this generation is not necessarily, this generation has an agenda. I'm just loosely using that. It was not about that, but it's like that. It's like we're living in some times where people pretend that like they want you to be your authentic self, but they don't necessarily want you to be your authentic self. All right? Because if your authentic self does not align with their agenda or organization, then they would try to mute you, they would try to emasculate you, and they would not want you to be there. So I get it and I understand what he's saying, but the way that he's trying to say is Stephen A-esque, because there is no end to it. Because once you give, there's no end to it. So you got to be very careful. And then to Shedeur, it also has a lot to do with when confidence starts to meld and look like arrogance. You see what I'm saying? That's part of it as well. Once confidence starts to, take the shape of arrogance, and I think that's what he's trying to explain, what Archo is trying to explain. You feel me? Because some things should be left in your mind. When Christ gives us advice and he says, hey man, be humble. All right. When he's telling us about humility, it's because there are people who may take your confidence the wrong way. You can think that you are better than someone, right? Before the fall comes, you know what I'm saying? Before what's the word? Before the fall, pride comes before the fall. Right? So be careful how you handle yourself or how you carry yourself and who you're telling what you're telling to. Because some people, if you tell them, yeah, I'm nice or I'm good at this, because they don't care anyway, or they know that either they know you are or they agree with you, they'll be like, I know you're nice, or yeah, I agree. I think you are nice. But some people who may not be able to take that, they want you to move a little bit with humility. So it starts to sound like arrogance the more and more you say it. So I do understand that factor, and you got to be very careful on how you present yourself, because if you move with humility, then people will accept you more. I've said that. I think I did a show, right? I did a show where I talked about the differences. So that's what he's pretty much trying to say. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I understand what he's saying. So should Shedeur have done some of that? I would say yes. I agree with that part of it. He should have not tried too much to put himself out there. But keep in mind, he's a young man who's prime son, and they were told certain things. Like I said, broken promises that's on the thing, right? he was told something that gave him the confidence to be able to speak openly about what he thought he was stepping into, and let people know that he was the guy for the job. So apparently that didn't work. So I get it.
A top 2 quarterback.
How do we separate self-confidence from arrogance? That's a good one, yo. I'm glad you asked that. How do we separate self-confidence from arrogance? I think the way that we do it is in how we talk. Because you can be confident and let your confidence speak for you. But I think people say arrogance because when the second you open your mouth and you proclaim something, then they can decide or they can determine whether it's arrogance or if it's confidence. Right? But the way that you move, nobody can ever accuse you of anything if you just let your actions speak louder than what you say. So I think it has to be in speech. It has to be in word. It has to be in how you present something verbally. Right? But in another example, if I was moving a certain way, like let's say a bunch of men. There's a scenario that happened this weekend that I want to say, but I don't want to use that. Let's say a bunch of men were at a church, and the church is like, let's say, a gym. We rent a gym, right? And every Sunday we have to set up the drums. We have to set up everything. So the chairs and everything, they're all there, right? They're stacked up because we cannot. It's a gym, so when you come, the chairs are stacked up in the back room, or they're scattered wherever whoever used it last. The drums and everything that you need to use for that service is all in disarray, or is around in bags, or is in boxes. So in this scenario, the person that comes up and starts to direct people and say, but not necessarily just start directing people, he starts to move the chairs to where they're supposed to be. And then while he's moving the chairs, he tells somebody, hey, yo, go grab those drums over there and put them on the stage. While he's still working, while he's still moving things around, right? The ushers have certain things, the offering baskets and everything. He's grabbing those things and he's starting to move things around. He ain't waiting for the pastor to tell him what to do. He ain't waiting for somebody to move. He just starts to move. That's confidence. If I'm sitting around and I'm telling a bunch of people, man, oh man, I know how to move on. We need to get these chairs, in certain places, and I'm just running my mouth. I ain't doing nothing. All I'm doing is telling people about how I move mad chairs before at my last church, and I'm just running my mouth. That's arrogance. That is straight up arrogance. Like, bro, go move something. Go do something. I think the way that I don't know if anybody can tell me that I'm arrogant if they see me working. If they see me, you can say, oh, he's real arrogant. He think he can just move those chairs. If you think that's arrogance, then I love it. Because I'm going to put the chairs where I saw them doing the service. I've been going here for years, right? We start in the same gym. We ain't moved nowhere. And I see them every Sunday. I just happen to come to church on Sunday early. But I know where the chairs go. So I'm just going to, for me, the way I move in my personal life, I'm the guy that's going to get up and start moving those chairs and putting them where they go. And I'm not even part of I don't serve at the church. I just go there. But when I get there early and I see the chairs are not set up, and maybe the pastor got into an accident, or maybe the people that set up the church, maybe they're running late, but I get there early and I see the chairs are still stacked up, I'm moving those chairs. You're not going to hear me say anything. I don't talk at all. I just start working. I'm a servant. So I start moving. And then I start dividing people into, I start delegating. I start saying, okay, you go, hey, can you do me a favor? Can you move that? I start acting like I'm the guy that does that. I did that one time, and the person that actually does it, they got upset. Who do you think you are? I'm a servant. And I saw that there was something that needed to be done, so I started to do it. That's it. I don't want accolades. I'm not looking for somebody to tell me, oh, yo, you good at this. No, I'm not looking for none of that. I just want to work. I can care less about what you think your status is or your title is. The cheers, I'm standing up. I just got to service early, and I was standing up, and I saw other people standing up outside talking. And I said, they probably want to sit down. So let me start putting the chairs out the way that I see them on Sunday. Now, I can make a mistake and say, okay, maybe you had a different idea this Sunday, but chances are you probably didn't. You just didn't have enough men, these alpha men that I see serving every Sunday, and they're looking for attention from the pastor. So when the pastor get there, that's when they start working. They're standing around and they're just talking, waiting for the pastor to come so they can start working. Me, I'll start working before the pastor get there so I can show you that this is what we're supposed to do. Your arrogance is when you start talking, blah, 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 blah. I can do this, I can do that, blah, 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 blah. Shut up and work. So that was a long explanation on love and liberty, but I think your self-confidence has a lot to do with how you serve versus what you say. I could have just said that. Man, I'm looking for men that can work. Yo, I appreciate that. I'm looking for men that can work and just shut up and work, bro. Man, if I see a real man that can work, ain't never said a word, just shut up and just work. Whew, I look at that man, I'm like, wow, Jesus is working in that man's life. God must be working in that man's life because God is the real G, right? And what do G's do? They move in silent. Somebody said that. G's move in silent. God's telling people to shut up and work. But people are so busy trying to tell everybody that they're like that it's just like, yeah, bro, that's when people see you, man, like if you humble, like just work. Just shut up and work. Maybe I'm speaking to somebody out there today. This was not the course I wanted to take, but maybe I'm speaking to somebody. Stephen A. Smith is shut up and work. Do something for your community. It's time to shut up and do something. Stop telling everybody how much you know because nobody cares what you know until they know that you care. Shut up and work. Daggone it. Y'all know too much. A lot of y'all civil rights leaders know too much. So y'all online just talking. And we can't see you nowhere in the community doing nothing. Not lifting a hand. You just talking. DEI, 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 DEI. Do you know that DEI is just to help people who are disenfranchised? Y'all want to argue about, oh, we don't need DEI. Everything should be equal. Yeah, but do you know that if you leave it up to other people, they won't make it equal? Did you know that? So while we having this long conversation about DEI and DEI, did you know that DEI is just to help people, or affirmative action was to just say, hey, man, we let you do it for 400 years and you didn't make it equal. So give me a break with your, oh, everything should be equal. Every man should be equal. Yeah, it should be. But whenever we leave it up to men, they don't do the right thing. So we had to step in to say, hey, let's give affirmative action. Let's give these people an opportunity, because if we leave it up to them, they won't do the right thing. It's that simple. Why, when people are debating, why they can't just say those simple words? We ain't saying nobody's lesser. We ain't saying that we shouldn't all be equal. But whenever we leave it up to us, we hire our own. That's all we do. We hire our own. It's not, you're not racist because if you're white, you want to, and you have a construction business, you hire a bunch of white men because that's what you're familiar with. We all do it. If I have a production, I hire all black people. I'm not thinking about no white man. We all do it. But DEI is for those big organizations that do the same practices that we all do in our small lives. Because we only do what's familiar with us. It's not racist. It's just human nature. But if we're willing to have a fair and balanced conversation, a real conversation, then we wouldn't trample on DEI and affirmative action and all these things to say, we're just trying to get you out of your norm. So other people can have an opportunity because you got 400 years on them. You got 400 years on them. So yes, the CEOs, the CFOs, the COOs, if all of y'all are white and you're just hiring your own people, then these people that you got the 400 years on, they won't get no opportunities because you're not going to look back to just say, let me bring somebody else in. That's what DEI is. Why we can't get that? Why we can't handle that? Why we can't simplify it to that? JR Boxing, what up, man? Hope all is well. But, man, that was not part of the show, man. But, listen, man. If God wants to move in a certain direction, I move in that direction. That's the only person I listen to. And I hope y'all understand, and I hope y'all get what I'm trying to tell y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, these sports. Let me play this. I think he was about to say something. Let me play this final clip, and then I'll react to it, and then I'm out of here. All right.
In the draft.
And JR Boxing, I know y'all don't like people. Like, I'll be online, but people don't come on. And sometimes, like, when I have a little bit of time, I gotta capture that. I know sometimes people don't come on until it's almost time for me to go. But yeah, between 10 and 11 is like the only kind of, and 12, no, between 10 and 12 is like I would say 10, 15, 10, 30 to 12 is the only time I'll be having nowadays. And sometimes that's when I come on. Everyone is not equal. That's how do you Qha? Is that how you pronounce your name? I'm sorry, Qha? Keha? Everyone is not equal. Don't know what you're referring to, but yeah, everyone isn't equal, and we try to help those. We try to help those who are not, who may be the lesser in our community. Wasn't there a game show called? What was that game show with that white lady with the weird voice? When you were the lesser of the group. Somebody tell me that game show. What was that game show that they had out there? The something. I forget the name of that game show. Weakest Link. Love and Liberty. You be on it, homie. Yeah, the weakest link. Society is really supposed to be, Hey, JR Boxing, I appreciate you listening and supporting. Yeah, the weakest link. Society and the way God set up society is that we are supposed to help the poor. We are supposed to help our weakest link. So I think like DEI, affirmative action, those things are kind of like set up to help the society's weakest links. You see what I'm saying? Not weak in the sense that they don't have, but when you have the big platforms and the people who are disenfranchised or don't have the, or not in the majority, society has to do something to try to correct itself, to try to help those people. You feel me? And that's why you get those things. But I think when we try to make DEI affirmative action, when we try to turn it into an academic debate, then you got to go to statistics. And then once you go to statistics, then it's hard to get from there, because then you have to use the people that look like you, that do have it, and all they're going to do is manipulate that number. Okay? You can't see Stephen A. Smith. You can't see how he got it. How you know he's not licking boot for that? We're not all bootlickers, right? Archo, how you know how he got there? Maybe he's a bootlicker. All right. So yeah, all of us are not bootlickers, but we're all supposed to have opportunity. You see what I'm saying? So yeah. So the second you take something that is not supposed to be number, right? That is not supposed to be a statistic, and you take the conversation to a statistical conversation, it's over. It's over. That's wisdom. I don't know that much book. I don't know much about that, any of this stuff that they be talking about. But God gave me basic wisdom and how to understand how life works. So when I listen to these debates, I say, God, look at them. Fools, cowards. They're not taking the essence of the lower in our society. We're supposed to try to help them to come up. They take the conversation away from that. And then they take it to, let's have an intellectual conversation about numbers and, you see, black people were better off in slavery. Oh, so yeah, if you're dealing with numbers, then yeah, that makes sense, right? Black people were better off in slavery. But should you ever say something like that out of your mouth when we were enslaved? When we were being enslaved and raped and all kinds of things, vile things happening to us, we were better off. See the conversation. You see how that, and then you get the capitulators coming on there and they say, "Oh yeah, he was right." The numbers say the numbers prove that we were right. But yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like wisdom, education, wisdom. Take the conversation away from education, academic or academia. Bring it to wisdom. How do we help everybody to eat? Is that basic? I want you to eat, and I want you to have opportunity. Is that basic? If you take it away from that, they will kill you with the numbers. They will kill you with the numbers. Please listen to what I'm telling you. They will kill you with the numbers. Never debate anybody on numbers. Ever. Leave the numbers alone. Because even with 7 touchdowns, even with the #1 draft pick, you can't argue nuances with numbers. There is no argument with nuances when it comes to numbers. That's why sometimes when we talk about football and y'all start giving stats, I'm done. Because I don't live in that realm. I don't live there. I live in between the numbers. I live in the nuances. That's why I'm so good with talent. I can tell you who's talented. I told you that Texas was not supposed to be #1, the #1 ranked team in the nation. They're not ready. Yes, you're right, Keha. Everyone is not equal in every race. Some can do things that others can't. That is the essence of what I'm trying to say. So when we have society where we have an unbalanced, because some people are more blessed than others, then we are supposed to hold each other up. That's how God designed this thing, by the way. But we go away from God's design and we start talking about alpha males and beta males and you're lesser, bring yourself up, tie yourself with your bootstraps and hang yourself. I don't know how we get to bootstraps. Like you got to tie yourself with bootstraps and hang yourself up and walk faster. You know what I'm saying? If I can walk fast, you should be able to walk fast. Why you can't walk fast? That's not how this works, people. Y'all stop these debates. Stop it. Y'all go back to God to explain this stuff. And y'all will understand it's so much simpler than we try to make it. That's why I don't touch certain things when they're hot. Because all we're thinking is our education. Oh, I'm so much educated than you. Look at me. Look how many things I can quote. Look at me. I can quote this, and I know this book. Nietzsche said this, and this person said this, and all right, man, I gotta go, yo. I gotta go. Hey, man, I hope these shows are good. No, I said I was gonna play this, and I didn't. I'm so sorry. I get off topic.
You ever met with the CEO or gone to a restaurant, whatever, and then all of a sudden you hang out with the person off the clock, and you're like, wait, you have tattoos? And you didn't realize, oh, they're covering up their tattoos while they're at work. Mm-hmm. In theory, why they got to change? But certain situations and certain occupations dictate that you make yourself a certain type of presentable. I did not make the rules. I did not make them. Well, we in certain occupations, we might not cuss. We might not say certain words. We might not do certain things because that's just the nature of the beast.
Can I be honest? And this is the God.
I understand that. I understand what he's saying. If he wasn't such a capitulator, then I wouldn't, I won't be so hard on him, right? But yeah, he's a capitulator. He's a Stephen A. Smith. He's like a junior Stephen A. Smith, and he's coming up as a junior. Stephen A. Smith has he said Peter's the employee handbook. So Stephen A. Smith, basically the employee handbook kind of tells you what you need to do, what you can and can't do or where and stuff like that. The employee handbook would tell you that. But then again, there is the unspoken handbook that you need to read as well. But yeah, like he's a Stephen A. Smith in training, and Stephen A. Smith have perfected his sambo-ness. And now he's just done. He's not for the culture. He doesn't care. It's always, I don't care what the culture wants. I'm going for me. Go for me. Go for me. It's always me, 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 me. I got my $100,000, $100 million contract, and I got to do everything I got to do to protect it. And I'm not losing it for a bunch of Negroes who are knuckleheaded, hard-headed. They're out there making babies. They're not thinking about how the baby is going to be protected, taken care of, and stuff like that. So those type of people, they never think about the common denominator. They never think about the weakest link in our society. They always think about themselves. So it gets to the point where you just can't talk anymore about, hey, the community is not perfect. The community is not full of people who are just as smart as you, who doesn't have your education. They all have opportunity, but they may not have had the same opportunity and being raised like you were raised and given the right opportunity or the right path to follow. The community is made up of a lot of flawed people. Why these conversations can never deal with that kind of stuff? The community is made up of a lot of flawed people, and there are weaker links within our community. But if you're not willing to lay down your life and your life's earning, then you can't be a follower of Jesus. Because Jesus laid down his life for the people that hate us the most. If you think Jesus laid down his life for just you, the Jewish people were mad because Jesus was like, nah, the Gentiles too. I want the Greek. I want them too. Like, yeah, the Romans, I want them too. If they believe in me, they coming to eat with us. You know how irate the Jews were? Yeah, he laid it all down for them too. So yeah, you don't get to choose, because I work hard for my platform and I ain't about to give it up for a bunch of Negroes or a bunch of hippies or a bunch of rednecks. I'm including whites and blacks and everybody, right? A bunch of whatever word. I ain't doing that for them. They can get their own. If you're not willing to do that and work just as hard as I work, then I ain't doing that for you. Then you're not for the people. Because the people have weak links. The people are going to be high. They're going to be low. They're going to be in between. That's what it is. All right, y'all. I'm a servant. I'm your servant. I'm here to serve. Just know that I'm here to serve. That's all I do. All I do is serve. All I do is serve, no matter what. No money in my pocket, yes, even when I'm broke. All I do is serve, no matter what. That's it. I'm put here to serve. That's it. Even when I'm a billionaire, I will give it all up for the weakest link in my community. I will lose it all. If somebody's making you feel some kind of way and you say, Harry B, I need you to say something, I'll be like, all right, let me look at it. And if it's righteous and God said this is a righteous cause, I'll put all that billion on the platform and say, let's take it. Let them get it. But I'm about to go to battle for you. Let's go. All right, guys. God bless. Y'all keep safe out there. Y'all serve, trust in God. That's all that matters. Peace.